believe I'm live. Well, looks like it's just me. So when someone turns up, just say hi. Of course, ambient sounds too loud. Yeah, fine. Let's make an adjustment. Ambient sounds. All sounds. That's more like it. Nope, still too loud. That'll do. Okay, first things first. Let's see what we've got. So we've got a command pod, a booster, something to hold it together, a fin, containment unit, and a couple other bits. That's new, I've never seen those before. What's that one utility? Just this parachute, right, cool. Okay, so let's come out of there. First things first, let's go get a mission and see what we've got. Gather scientific data from Kerbal. Okay, let's go and do it. Might as well do that one too. Right, so we need a space vehicle. I'll just stick that on the bottom. Give it a few spins. Parachute on the top. Three good containments. Make it two. Make it even. And we'll call this micro launch 1. Let's go for it. Oh, hello Batman. How are you? Right, so what have we got? Here's our goals. We've got to launch first vessel. It's just got to leave here and recover or transmit any science experiment. Okay, fine. So let's do a science experiment. There we go. Yep, thank you. I'll have that one. And let's max power. Power. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. High as we can go here. Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks Batman. Will I reach 10,000? What do you reckon? Yeah, I should do. Past 10,000 I should probably get a good reading. There we go. Yeah, 14. Sweet. So now what I'm going to do is go back down without crashing. Hello, Theo. Sorry, Teddy. Change your name. So, I can't really reach beyond 160 meters a second, or else it will break up badly. And I'm not going to be able to survive this fall otherwise. So 160 now. Let's launch the pre-parachute early. It should slow it down enough so that when it opens up. How you doing? Teddy, how you doing? So we're doing 200 meters a second, but it is slowing down. So you can see the parachute hasn't opened up. Yeah, it doesn't open up to about 2,000 feet, meters, whatever it is. But it's the moon. 3, 2, 1, and open. Open, open, open. Thank goodness. 200 meters from the floor. That's from the sea level, not the floor. 130 meters from the floor. No, don't worry about it, Teddy. I didn't even see what you said if it was a bad thing anyway. And we're doing only 6 or 7 meters a second. These tolerances are something like 12 for landing, so should be fine. And we have landed. So now we've completed a milestone as well, which is broke a speed record, launched a vessel, blah 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 blah, loads of other stuff. Let's get rid of them. And we can now recover the vehicle. So we've gained 30 science, giving us a total of 51 now. Recovered all the parts, literally nothing was lost, and our crew gained an experience point. Boom, yeah. Which means we can go into R&D and spend some. Before I do, we go to mission control and see what we can get. So focused studies basically mean you have to fly into the air at a certain point on the map and find stuff. So just crew reports. As we've only just reached 10,000 meters so far, it's not going to make much difference for these. This one is quite an easy one, testing the parachute in flight. We have to do it between 7,000 and 10,000 meters at a speed of 50 to 100 meters a second. I think I can do that. So let's take that one. And let's just go and check to see what I'm using as my thing. What's that? That is a RT5 Fleet, not a 10. Hello Jolly, how are you? What does it say? 10. It's the 5 I've got. There's the 5. It has to be a suborbital trajectory, blimey. Suborbital, jeez, that's not suborbital at 200,000 meters. It's practically orbital. Okay, so for the moment let's leave that and we go and take a launch. This won't take long. Where are we at? Launch pad. So we should have one mission. Yes, no, not bad, thanks Jolly. Okay, what we got? So we've got to test this parachute between 7 and 10,000 meters at that speed. Let's go for it. Let's see if we can take a crew report this time. There we go, crew report. And let's do a GOO observation below 9,000. So we've got to get between 7 and 10,000 doing under 110 meters a second. Yeah. Well, as we passed 11,000 meters, this could be fun. Let's just grab another one. So 110 meters a second, eh? I don't think I'm going to be able to test the parachute at that, do you? Ah, we're past it. Oh well. Let's speed up time. Nothing more I can do. So I just need to add some. Find it. Slow it down. Add some weight to this thing. The parachute opens. We're slowing down now. Yeah, got to add some weight to it. Blasted off from over there. Cool, eh? So to not increase my height as much with the same boost, I need to add more weight. However, if I add too much weight, the parachute won't successfully land. Let's see what's there. So I added 12 more science for that, which is nice. These don't really add much weight. They probably won't slow it down enough. What other things have we got? They're not very heavy at all. We haven't really got anything. Apart from them. But that's not exactly going to help us too much. What I'll do... I'll find out how much the wings cost. Oh, they're nothing. Oh, where are we at? Where has it gone? Structure. Structure, there it is. Let's stick them on there, and we've increased its weight by... where is it? 2.9 tonnes down as 0.4 tonnes. Yeah, that should just about do it, I think. Right, let's see if my extra half-ton weight in the vehicle will, well, collapse. See, I've got a lot more drag this time. So, now we're past 2,500 metres, the drag's gone, or reduced. Got to reach 7,000 metres, which at this speed is not going to happen. Got to 5? No, not going to do it. Let's revert. Okay, let's get another one. Okay, let's try it. No promises. See you in a moment, Theo. I mean Teddy. I've made some adjustments to the lights and colours on my mini webcam. Hi. Does it look any better? Is the quality any better today? It's not very good anyway. Much less drag, that'll help. I think that's too much weight. Yep, too much weight. Let's remove one of those strut things. Try that. So what we're aiming to do here is we're aiming to gather science. The reason we're gathering science is so that we can then unlock new parts. If you've never played this game before, basically it's a single player game which allows you to explore space. To give you an idea, space is huge, and this is a planet. This is a single planet. It's a fictional planet, and there's no towns or cities on it. It's just a couple of odd bits and pieces you can find. Right, so we've reduced the weight, so we should be able to increase our height to about the 7,000 metres that we need. Doesn't appear to be getting any higher. If anything, it seems to be getting slower. That's definitely not faster. Quite possibly an aerodynamics thing. Yeah, let's go with it being an aerodynamics thing. Right, okay, so it's not a weight thing. What can I do to add some weight in a different form? I know what we can do. No, we don't. What are they? 0.1, and the science ones are 0.05. Not heavy enough. The pod's quite heavy. I wonder if I can just stick a double engine in and then just power it by using one. How heavy is that? 1.5 tons, jeez. Let's drop it to 70. And turn the engine off entirely. I'll tell you what, actually we're going to need to drop it less than that. We're going to have to be about 42, I reckon. 3.3 tons, jeez, that's heavy. There we go. So without anything, it's increased its weight anyway. Hello everything, aka Abrap. Hello gamer, how are you doing? Right, let's give this thing a go. This is more aerodynamic this time, so in theory it should keep higher speeds. Well, top speed hit nearly 500 metres a second that time, but can I reach the 7,000 metres mark for this particular contract? 7,000 metres, 7,000 metres, 7,000 metres, 110 metres a second, 110 metres a second. Come on. And, oh, let's deployed. 50 to 100 metres a second. Oh, deployed it too early. Oh. We start flight. That worked. Okay, won't take long. Only a minute. I think it's a budget enriched stream because no one could read your messages. Is it possible you were blocked? Just a guess. And has Rich actually got a stream up at the moment? Nice of him to invite me. Right, this time I have to be over 50 metres a second, remember, but under 110. There, got it. Complete, thank goodness for that. Now I just gotta wait. Ah, good drink. Yeah, it's not the best angle when you're plummeting towards the earth head first. But Jebediah seems pretty happy. should change the height of the thing. That change it to 1400 meters quick. So it definitely opens in time. Okay, Batman, Teddy, stop arguing. Right, well, I've definitely completed this one. So let's toddle on down to the bottom. And 100 meters to go. 30. And we have landed. Is anyone going to actually answer my question then? I asked, is Rich streaming? Nice of him to let me know. Okay, that's complete. We got a mission complete at the same time though, so that's another story. Right, let's see what else we got here. We could test the RT10 hammer solid fuel booster. Let's go and get that. Oh, wrong thing. Hang on. Okay, so as I was saying, this is an entire galaxy you can explore. Oh, okay. Thanks, Batman. I take it that was earlier, or the other day, or yesterday, or something. So, this is the planet you start on. You can see some of the contracts that are available. In this local part of the galaxy, you've got the moon, M-U-N. Yeah. And you have a second moon around this particular planet called Minmus. Which, if I can zoom in, you might be able to see. There's a tiny little thing there. There it is. That's Minmus. Minmus is actually a lot easier to land on. It's got a much lower gravity. Okay, let's go out of the solar system. Out into the solar system. Right, we can see other planets then. So this is the actual full galaxy system available within this game. Going out as far as Elu, the equivalent of Pluto in this game. Joule, which is actually a Jupiter-sized planet. And Dress, it's a rocky world if I remember right. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, it's not very exciting to be fair. Let's zoom out. Come on, there we go. Then we got this red planet here, which is called Juno. That's basically like the Mars of the game. Obviously, Kerbal, where you live. Eve, which is effectively Venus, but you know you can land on it in this game. Here it is. It's a lovely purple world. Moho, sorry. I should know the name of that. Moho, which is basically Mercury. Let's zoom right in. It's there we go, a nice barren, hot, rocky world. Now, you might have noticed that actually these are all pretty boring worlds, and actually this game's got a lot more to it than that. So let's go to Joule, for example. This is Jupiter. Now you might know Jupiter has a lot of moons. Well, it does in this game too. We've got 5 actually in this. We've got Pol, Bop, Val, Tylo, and Lathe. Now Lathe, if I remember correctly, is an incredible planet. What should I say? What's the word? Moon. So Lathe itself is actually a water world. Well, mostly water world with a few bits of land. You can actually land on it. It's like an Earth-type atmosphere. The Joule Jupiter of this game is green instead of red, but you can see it's got a very similar resemblance to actual Jupiter. Val is an ice world. It's a cold place. And you've got Tylo. This is Tylo. So, Tylo is another rocky world. There's loads of them like this, to be fair. Most of them are. Bop. which is a very odd-shaped world. It's not really a world, it's more of an asteroid than a world. As you can see. The environments when you zoomed into them are a lot better when you actually get to them. You can see that one's actually off a camber as well, so it's a bit more difficult to get to. Pol. Pol is a tiny world. Again, it's a very odd-shaped world with massive mountains and things. This game basically allows you to explore pretty much the entire solar system. I've actually found it quite difficult because I've never really got that far into it. To go beyond Kerbal. I have actually landed on Eve but never been able to leave the place, and I've crashed into Juno a few times to give you an idea of how far I've actually gone. The Moon and Minas, yeah, they're actually pretty easy by comparison. Okay, so let's come out of this and let's go for the next part of the next contract in the list, which is an RT-10 booster, which comes under basic rocketry, which is one of these. So I've now unlocked the RT-10. I'm not going to unlock anything else for the moment, and I'm going to swap my boosters that I've attached on the micro launch one to the RT-10 hammer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal these, put them up there, and chuck that up there, so I can basically go like that. There we go. So all I've done is I've upgraded the rocket with a bigger booster. So we're now going to call it, I'm going to call it the micro launch 2. There we go. Now in theory, no, I didn't say the micro launch one, doesn't matter. We'll just keep the micro launch 2, it's fine. I'm happy with that. Okay, there's the logo of the space organisation I set, which is nice. Right, let's go for a flight. Let's see what this particular thing can do and get the next. Thanks for the comment there, Teddy. Next level of the flight up. Okay, so this is lighter than it was previously because I've obviously changed the booster and removed the extra booster added. Where are we going? We need to separate these out. I can never remember which order it goes, whether it's 1 or 0. I think it's that way around. There we go. So we've got 1500 metres a second. I've already done these at ground, so I don't need to do that here. Right, we've got the world's first fire milestones, experiments at home, we've covered our crew, and loads of other crap. Right. Hello, Ollie. Right, where are we going? So I've got to test the booster here, which is what I'm going to do. But I'm also going to let it boost into as high as it can go. Let's go. So this booster is twice as powerful as the previous booster, or should I say it's got twice as much fuel. Which basically means once you pass 2,500 metres, it flies, and I mean literally flies. So we passed 2,500 metres. Once we hit 5,000 metres, you should start seeing the white drag lines start disappearing. Past 10,000, they really reduce. And as you can see, we hit 1,200 metres a second as our speed. So we've actually got a new world first milestone for speed. 790 metres a second is broken. Right, because we're so high up, I can now observe the mystery goo. We've got a decent recovery there in the upper atmosphere. But we're still going up. We're still doing 1,000 metres a second. So this is going up, and it's going up, and it's going up. Now I suspect this is going to be a failure, this particular mission, because I suspect I'm not going to be able to land it. But we'll see in time. I really should have unlocked the heat shield and the what's the word? The things that remove whatchamacallits from the doodahs. That's not very descriptive. Decouplers, that's the word. Interesting conversation you're having there. Right, so we are about to hit 70,000 metres where we get some nice music. you might be able to hear it because it's turned right down. Basically, we're now in orbit territory, which is true. We are now in basically effectively the orbital territory. So let's just observe the mystery go and get a crew report while we're at it. So if I can recover all this, this is going to be lots and lots of research and everything coming back down. Are you saying face reveal to me? Because like this was yesterday, or whenever it was. So I've just still going up 30,000 meters. Sorry, 300 meters a second, over 90,000 meters in the air. Yeah, we're basically, as I say, in orbital territory. That's quite high up, as you can see. Zoom out a little bit more, and oh, hang on, there we go. And you can look around the world, effectively. Okay. So I'm going to speed things up because this is going to take forever otherwise. So you've got a land distance record of 10 kilometers, so you can actually do distance across the world as well. I don't remember what its actual maximum is, something like 50 kilometers or something. But anyway, so we're heading back down. I'm hoping this thing won't explode, but you never know. Let's turn the lights on inside. Did it work? That's not the lights, that's the lights. There we go, lights are on now. Say hello. Well, let's try and keep this thing upright so that we use the bottom, not the top, first. So we generally don't get any sort of like heat action until about 35,000 meters, which is coming up any moment now, when the atmosphere starts to thicken. So you can see the atmosphere bar along the top there. The thicker it gets, so you've got black, dark blue, lighter blue, and then really light blue. The really light blue is really thick atmosphere. So, good tactic here is to spin it around as much as you can. Unfortunately, it's not going to do anything at this height. Need to see if we can get it to slow down. I hope it doesn't blow up the heat. Yeah, I had a feeling that might happen. I'm fine, thank you, Ollie. Yeah, so this is a failed mission, as you can see. So I'm going to go back to the launch and I'm going to do things a bit differently. I'm going to take out all the fuel. That didn't work. Let's go back to assembly. Take out all the fuel, like that. Go back to launch. Test it. When it eventually loads. Okay, test, done. Right, that's mission complete. Just to confirm, there it is, mission complete. Right, so let's come out of that. Revert, no, not revert. Cover. So, this game is called Kerbal Space Program for anyone who has not read the title. If you've never played it before, it's not a bad game. It is single player. Effectively, your aim is to try to get into space and stay there and do stuff up there, like NASA. So anyway, engineering. So we need a decoupler, thermostat would be nice, communications is great, let's get that. Let's get some more rocketry so we can get more powerful rockets. Oh, we need the fuel lines. Where's the fuel? That's fuel systems there. Do we need lower level fuel? That's an FL200. and that's an FL400, so yeah, I want to go up that line. Right, okay, so let's get that one and that one. Oh, I need 45 science for that, so I can't do that one. So I will increase the survivability. I'll get the heat shield as well while I'm at it. What else we got stability wise? Got nose cones, winglets, radial decouplers. They're quite handy to have, but I'm going to go for some more sort of like science stuff first. So let's see, what have we got? We've got a decoupler on an escape trajectory. That's not going to happen. Focused observational survey. I don't think I've got enough steering available to me to do survey focusing. So, shall we go for... Could go for that one. The MK16 parachute. Have I got the MK16? I think I've got the MK16. I think that's from the one that's fitted. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's get that one. It doesn't have to go very high. Right. I will be back in just a moment. You'll be able to see me come back, and we can see my webcam, so I'll be right back. We'll call that an Ace Ventura film. If you don't know what I'm talking about the film called When Nature Calls. Right, okay, so that was the Micro Launch 2, so let's go for the Micro Launch 3 now. So the Micro Launch 3 is going to have a brand new fuel-powered system, powered by the LT-30? I can't remember which one I want to go with. That one. The LT-30 rocket with some fuel. That there, and we're looking to get into low orbit or something. Not low orbit, low power, low height. Why is I don't know. I have no idea. Right, so this is the Micro Launch 3, so let's go for a launch. You know, if you just wanted to chat to each other, you can always do it in Discord. If you're actually interested in the stream, I'll carry on. You're more than welcome to continue talking. So, if your discussion is relating to something that's not related to the stream, you're more than welcome to take it elsewhere. Right, okay, so let's power this thing up and get to 3,000 meters. There's the contract. Didn't accept it. Right, so it was that one. Got it. Okay, let's go for it. It's the Micro Launch 3. which is this tiny thing now, is ready for go. We've got two, what's the word for it? I have no idea what I was talking about. Okay, so that is there. That needs to go onto its own separate group, like so. There we go. It should, yeah, that's fine like that. Should allow me to get to 3,000 meters. What I need to do is get there, traveling between 70 and 130 meters a second. No, I pressed the wrong button. Try that again. Right, so. Oops. Let's try that again. Forgot to change the groups, didn't I? Okay, fine. Let's go for it. Power! Get ready to cut. Cut. So I need to be doing it at 70 to 130 meters a second, between 3 and 6,000 meters. Any moment. Look for the green, and we're active. Done. That's literally it. So now I just get back to Earth and I'm done. Right. Ooh, you can do walk to sunrise. We don't need to do that. And it's open and we are just that was close. Right, well I can recover the vessel. It survived. No science, didn't need it. So we got that particular mission complete, which is nice. So you can see in the archives we now have 5 completed missions. Escaping atmosphere is fun and pretty easy, and none of the others are that exciting right now, so let's go for it. So, to escape the atmosphere and potentially get into orbit. Actually, let's go for the orbit contract as well, shall we? I'm going to aim for the orbit contract. This could be fun. It could also be hell. Okay, in theory I should have a way to get back down to. So this is not going to be the micro line of ships anymore. It's going to have to be a new line. Anyone got a name suggestion for spacecrafts? Anyone? I'll start building it. You come up with a name while I'm building it. Enterprise, yeah, it's not going to look like the Enterprise. I am not going to call it that. But thank you for the suggestion. Could call it Lunar Explorer. Well, I'm not going to the moon with it. The Lunar Explorer would be a good one. This is going to be a first attempt at orbit. So that might help with the naming convention. check. Yeah, that's one of them. Okay, so that's enough power to get some of the way. Did I go for that or not? No, I didn't. As the Explorer is an interesting option. I'll tell you what, I will take that. We're going to call this Explorer 1. I like your idea there. Theo, thanks. Theo, Teddy, whatever you want to be called. So let's come out of here and go and get the radials I want. Radials. There's radials. Got it. Okay. Back. Get rid of that. And let's put on fuel. Roughly. Let's go see. So continue. Where did I find it? Is it in that one? It is in that one. I do have it. Good. Right. Should be like a plain picture then. That one. There it is. Got it. Children call, back in a bay. They may not be here much longer, but you may. Right, where was I? There we go, 2 of those, go down. Okay, so we're aiming to try and get a rocket here that goes up and stays up. So let's go for those, like that. Let's get rid of the snap. One moment. Okay. That'll do that. That's a, yeah, that'll do. Thanks. It's a basic rocket. I think it'll get into orbit. I think. Right. I have a quick job to do, and I'll be one moment, and I will be back in a moment. Yeah, I'm just going to put the headset down. That's what happens when you have kids. Right. Let's get this thing in orbit. Or attempt. Oh look, it can't support it, isn't that nice? Let's go and upgrade. Upgrade. There we go, done. Right. What was the betting this thing won't get into orbit first attempt? Uh-huh. Yes, I will be a moment and then I will do this orbit, hopefully. So, hopefully he says, that should be it. Right, ready for launch. Launch sequence in 3. I can't bother to do the timing. Let's go. Okay, so when launching space vehicles, the idea is to try and keep them as steady as you can for as long as you can. So use half the fuel boosters already, and it's going into a natural orbit of its own at the moment, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but we're already passing 600 metres a second. Past the 10,000 metre mark, that's always a good time. There you go. So we want to go up a little bit to about 20,000 metres, and then we want to throttle back. Sort of keep it steady. Now, we're just aiming to keep that going up at the moment. So we've got 77,000 metres epiopsis, which is great, which means I can now stop my thrusters. So this will do. We will drop a little bit while I'm going up in height still. We won't drop massively. Now, as you can see, I've got timing to get to it, which is going to be a little while. I'm only at 47,000 at the moment. But basically, about 30 seconds before I hit that, I hit the boosters and I should be able to go around the world fairly quickly. It's not a very straight orbit, it's more of a polar orbit, but it'll do. And in theory, it should work. How much we've got left? We've got half the fuel tank left in this, and we've got the second fuel boosters from that. So we're approaching 70,000 metres now. And we're that far away from the apoapsis. So apoapsis, I never get it right, apoapsis is basically the lowest point on an orbit. Well, sorry, the lowest high point on an orbit. Then you've got the periapsis, which is the opposite end, which is the lowest. Sorry, yeah. So apoapsis is the highest, periapsis is the lowest. Get it right in a minute. What are we at? 78,000 metres. That should do. So we should now be able to aim at the green thing there and boost like hell. So we're aiming for about 2,000 metres a second. We're aiming to try and keep it in the 80-something thousands as well. We're about to run out of fuel in this particular tank. We do have another tank left. there's the apoapsis, and if we zoom right out, we should be able to see that go round now. And any second now, we should be able to cut out the engines, so we've got a periapsis. So we need to get that to be above 70,000 to have a full stable orbit. And we now have a full stable orbit. Welcome back, Ollie. And we have a half a tank of fuel, which means we can brake our orbit quite comfortably, and we should be able to land quite easily too if necessary. So now we're in an orbit, I can take a crew report. There we go. We have a crew report now available to us, which is nice. So this is Explorer 1. It's currently a ship in space. It's the first ship in orbit around this particular planet on this particular version of the game. Yeah, I must apologise for the short breaks I've had to take, but they are necessary in this house. So, that is how you get into orbit. Without even trying, to be fair. Look at that. So let's have a look at the contracts and things we've got completed. So we've got an orbit Kerbal and an escape the atmosphere goal contract complete, which is great. And we also have all these messages done too. So the world's first milestone, we've broken the land distance record of 1,000 metres, 3,000 metres, and 790 metres a second. We've also broken an altitude record of 22 kilometres, broken distance record of 10 kilometres, land distance 32, 70, 100. We entered orbit. Welcome back, Ollie, by the way. So, that's all the messages done. We're now in a stable orbit around the planet. There it is. So, Explorer 1 is floating around in space. And one of the things we need to check is electric charge. Electric charge eventually does run out. If electric charge runs out, you generally find you can't actually use the thing. We have enough fuel to be able to break orbit, like I suggested a moment ago, so you just basically burn in the opposite direction to going up, and you can then go down. This does mean that I can actually then return and gain any science from this mission from within space. Not that there is any, because there isn't anything there is a crew report at this time. So I can now go back, if I wanted to the Space Centre and launch another rocket and have a second rocket in space at the same time. As you progress through this game, it's actually possible for you to dock your spacecraft together in space. You can actually create space stations. You can also create stations on other planets, rovers, and other vehicles as well within. So it's not just limited to spacecraft. However, this is quite an early version of, or early, what's the word, career thingy, early part of the career. So there's not really a lot of stuff available at this point. So, as I was mentioning earlier, you've got the apoapsis, which is the highest point in your orbit, and the periapsis, which is the lowest point in the orbits. Periapsis will only appear if the orbit is capable of being sustained in any format. So in other words, it is above 1 metre above the ground. Otherwise it's within the planet itself and therefore isn't really part of the orbit. As you can see, that's the total distance I've travelled so far. It isn't a lot, but you consider that's in 7 minutes. It's quite a distance. The total orbit time around the planet is about half an hour. I'm not going to watch the entire thing, obviously. So I am going to go from this point back to the Space Centre. Where is the Space Centre button? I have to come out of the map first. That's where. So, because distances and things aren't really displayed on the map at the moment, I need to upgrade the tracking centre. So this is the tracking station, which, as you can see, currently just shows what's available, what's where. You can see the ship that I've got up there, and obviously explore the galaxy. Or galaxy? Solar system. Not galaxy, is it? Solar system. Or I can now go to it and upgrade it. So 75,000. I think I can afford that. I'll go over $1 million. That's done that. So in R&D we now have enough to be able to get some more science as well. So we can get the advanced rocketry, which gives us the bigger fuel tanks and smaller engines, funny enough. We can also do some launch stability. We can also have more crew available in space. That's new, not seen that one. What else have we got? Aviation. So aviation's more about ground-based stuff. You don't really need it. Flight control. So reaction wheels. Now reaction wheels are really quite handy to have. This particular one's a little on the small side, so it needs to be quite a small craft for it to work. Basically what that means is it can run and keep your spacecraft straight. So you may have seen that the spacecraft was sort of spinning out of control in space. This would prevent that. It's basically like mini version of gravity in space. The last bit is batteries. So we've got batteries, a science centre, storage units for experiments, radiators, antennas, and an uncrewed capsule. Basically, you can send the whole thing up without a crew. Personal preference, I don't like using them. But because everything is 45 science here, it means I can only unlock one thing. So I'm going to go ahead and not unlock at this time. And go into mission control and see what other new things we may have. So hello Teddy. So the tourism stuff isn't that hard to do, you just need stuff to carry them around in. Return to Kerbal from orbit, that is a mission, which I could do. So I could bring that back, and get a good 100 grand on it. Decent amount of money. Actually, it's probably something I should do. Tell you what, yeah, I'll bring it back. So now we've got it in orbit, we're going to bring it back. Let's go find the thing. Right, so we're at the space vehicle. So because we have got a pilot who is actually a pilot, we can turn on SAS and we can set it to go to retrograde. So this automatically then points in the right direction. Retrograde is the opposite to prograde. Prograde is forwards, retrograde is backwards. And if I then burn the fuel in retrograde, which I really don't want to do until it's kind of in the sunny area, so tell you what we'll do. Oh man, I can't do it. I need to upgrade the tracking centre another level before I can do it. Never mind. Tell you what, I'll speed up time instead. There, perfect. So now I can do retrograde from here. I will. Don't know what happened there, but never mind. Where's the planet? There it is. I'll power up. Slow the thing down, so we can see Apoapsis is now here, and it looks like we may be having a splashdown near some islands, possibly on the islands themselves. So this is quite a steep, or a steeper descent. It should be steep enough. So we now have a separator. So I don't really want to be carrying this stuff down with me. Play the owner of Rich's Minecraft world. What do you mean the owner? He built it, if that's what you mean. So I've jettisoned the what's the word for it? The boosters and the fuel tanks. So we no longer have any boosters or fuel tanks. We literally have the capsule, a heat shield, which is this, and a parachute. So a heat shield, if you don't know what it does, basically takes the brunt of heat on re-entry, so that the rest of the module stays active. It should be as big, if not larger, than the thing it is protecting. However, everything, whatever you want to be called. I think I should just call you Lewis. So we're now at 56,000 metres. As I mentioned before, it's about 30,000 metres you actually start seeing any sort of burning up. We're doing 1,700 metres a second, which is quite a lot, I won't lie. The electric's going down, so that's what happens when you put SAS on. So we give SAS to a pilot, and they can sort of control the direction that the pod's moving in, kind of. Obviously the heavier it is, the harder it is to do anything with without reaction wheels. So there we go, so we're now at 40,000 metres and we've got some heat coming in. The heat shield is taking the brunt. You can see it's not really had anything hit on it yet. And 35,000 metres when things start getting hot. So by slowing down this fast here, we actually get closer to the islands than we would have done otherwise. We're still likely to get a splashdown based on the trajectory we're going on. So what we're aiming for is we're aiming to see when that hits the next atmosphere levels here, at 20,000, no, it's 15,000 metres roughly, we'll get a sudden decrease in speed. And I mean literally a sudden decrease. We'll drop to a couple of hundred metres a second. And here it comes. There. So you can see the atmosphere is thickened up and we've got a sudden massive decrease in speed. You can see the G-forceometer's gone from running up into the middle here. We're aiming to get this down to about 200-300 metres a second, because you can't really deploy this under a certain amount. Let's increase this altitude just a little bit in case we're over land. We're not, but it doesn't matter. So 17 kilometres away, that's where the rest of the debris is. That's the jets and stuff. So we're at 263 metres a second, 261, 260. Let's launch the parachute so we get a bit more slowdown going on. We're down to 230, 220. Yeah, this is an easy landing. These kind of landings are always hairy, but you know, it's safe. (3,600 metres a second), 600 metres even, 3,000, 2,500 now, 23, 22, 21, 20. It should boost the parachute about 1,400. There we go, or 1,200, whatever I set it to. And we're slowing right down now, and that's us pretty much settled till we land. Which is going to be a while. This is at full speed and we're doing so no matter what I change on this, the water always looks a bit weird. It's good, but it's actually the underneath the water that looks weird. You can actually see the bottom of the ocean. It's quite kind of strange, really. Anyway, so this pod is a floating pod. So if I splash down, which I just did, it'll now float. So I can recover the vehicle. We've already got a crew report, so we don't need another one. So we've recovered the crew report. That gives us a couple of extra, what's the word, science points, I think. There we go, crew report and return. So we got 30 science from that, which is nice. So we're up to 131, so we can get quite a lot of good stuff. And he's advanced level 1. Okay, we're up to nearly 1.2 mil. So one of the next major things we can do is explore the moon. I hate exploring the moon. Right, so let's have a look at see what we've got here. So we've got some science stuff, which gives us extra science, obviously. Control, which we don't need at this time. I think advanced flight control is quite useful because we can decide whether we want to move on at this after this. Similar with aviation. Landing is something that we will eventually want here, so it's handy to look at. Advanced construction, so this stuff is kind of useless until you're using the bigger stuff anyway. Fuel systems. These ducts are actually quite useful. They transfer fuel around. There's a bigger fuel tank, that's quite handy as well. These are extra big or extra large fuel tanks. They're really handy, especially with the large rockets you get from here. So the Skipper's a massive, massive beast of a what's the word? Thruster. So the Poodle, not the Poodle, the Terrier, sorry, is a quite nice little engine for space. It's not very fast, but it does its job. Doesn't use much fuel, which is good. So, if you could choose, what would you unlock? Would you go for A, basic science, or B, advanced rocketry? The rest of them can wait. So advanced rocketry gives you a smaller engine, but it also gives you some side-mounted engines and a bigger fuel tank. Doesn't really save much, to be fair. The basic science one gives you a remote control spacecraft, but it uses power, so you need power generation. To use power generation, generally speaking, you would also need solar panels, which are here. On top of that, you also get the science unit, which is just basically science and space. Storage unit, which I'd never really used. The radiator panel, which is just to cool things down. Another one there, and then we've got a high gain antenna. If you want to look at other categories anyway, some bits for you. I take it I'm going to be making this decision. Right. So unlock that one. Need 80s, I've got 90. Right, I'll do for now. Okay, so that's most of the major stuff upgraded now. Right, so let's go in here. So I upgraded this so that we now actually have further information when we're in space. Hello, Blue, how you doing? Right, so let's load up my, what's the word for it? Not micro, it was Explorer, that's the one. Explorer 1. There it is. So we know this can get into space and we know it can get back from space. However, do we know if it can bring stuff back from space? Yeah, I'm not too bad, Blue. Well, I'm playing a game on my own, in a house, talking to myself. So, yeah, in all, springs are not bad. If that's what you like doing, of course. So, let's have a look what we got here. Same motors, but a new one of them. Let's swap that for a Terrier. Yep, that's done that. Okay, so what we've got a service bay, which is probably what I want to be able to bring back. It's 0.1 tonnes, so that's good. So now we have our heat shield here, attached to the bottom of the service bay. So inside the service bay we can attach stuff, which is quite handy. It means that we can carry stuff easily into space and bring it back. Note landing straps. Tell you what, it's good to use those. Where did I see them? There, wasn't it? Are they extended? Yeah, that's the extended ones. Right, fine. It's not very good looking, is it? Oh well. Yeah, scientist and astronaut. That'd be me. Right, let's see where we're going. Here somewhere. Science, science, science. There it is. Two of those. Two of those. Two of those. Kind of covered all those. I have no idea what you were all talking about. So, before I race off into space with this contraption, which I'm going to stick some batteries in. If I can work it out. Which one is it? It's like that. There we go. Them in there. Where is it? Yeah, so before we go into space, I don't need them really. Let's go and close that and test this stuff out on ground. So this is now Explorer 2, because it's an upgraded one. It's got new rocket things. Fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. It's 10:30, come on. Got an hour and a half yet. Crazy. Right, okay, so somewhere near the top with the experiments. There they are. Let's go for one of those. Some science, go for one of those. That's some science, and go for one of those. It's already been done, but why not? Let's do it again. And the crew report says we haven't left yet. Let's recover it and get all that stuff. You reckon? A shuttle from Star Wars? Interesting. Well, I mean, there's some things I can do. For example, if I want to make this thing go a little bit further for its thrust, I can add another one of those, or 2, or 5, or however many. We'll go for 3. Like so. That's that, so there's all those in. So, right, so we've got let's see what we got. We've got those boosters and that booster. That's got to be the first one. Then we want to do a detach, and you want to use that one after that's been detached. Then we detach the top half, parachute down. There we go. That's how we do it. So, there it is, ready to roll. Let's go and send this thing into space. Let's get some readings from space, bring it back down, and then in theory I should be able to get some further upgrades to power this thing further into space. So let's see, contracts we haven't got any at the moment. There's none I really want to do at this stage, so let's go for it. So we set the throttle to about 25%. 3 boosters, 1 rocket module in the middle, and as he's got a shuttle ready to be set into space. Yeah, this is the second time it's going up. So this time it's got 3 instead of 2. Okay, let's turn the lights on because it's night time. I've got the fuel up so I can see what's going on. And we've got, yeah, about 3,000 meters a second in terms of total power. Should be enough. Tell you what, if you can get a Domino's here, I'll be happy. Right. And we're going up. Let's do this one. See if we can steady this thing. So halfway through the solid boosters. Already turning. The gravity turn a little bit. Oops. Yeah, isn't he just? Let's try that again, shall we? It's only 2 minutes. Yeah, so this guy in the corner, Jebediah Kerbal. Is it Kerbal? Yeah, Kerbal. He's basically the guy that gets killed, and everyone kills him almost the first time they play the game. Rich. If I knew who Rich was, I'd be a rich person. Get it? He said something about New Year's Eve stream of Brie. So I need to cut the boosters all at the same time when they run out. Drop them, wait, and then boost. That's 96,000 metres. I think I can stop quite safely. So we've got 2 minutes to apoapsis. Now the apoapsis is the highest point I can get to at this point. Generally speaking, you would look at boosting a lot earlier if you can, which is what we're going to be doing with about 60,000. We're going to aim for, I don't know, let's go for a 270. So it's, the best line's that one up there actually, isn't it? The line it's on. The 180 line. So we're on the 180 line, approximately where I want it to be. We're not in the space yet. When we're in space, I think boosting becomes a little easier because you don't get any atmosphere at all. So we give that a moment, see how far we've got. We've got a minute left. The closer you are to the apoapsis, the less effort you have to put in to actually do anything, which is nice to know. So I'm going to go towards the normalising line. Nearly there. Okay, we're going up at about 300. Right, let's power it. Let's see how far we can get. So there's the apoapsis running away. Fuel is a quarter of a tank on this particular tank. We need to get to about 2,000 metres a second. Just going to pause that for a moment because we're a minute and a half away from the apoapsis. Got 116 metres a second left on that, which is not enough, but we do have 2,000 on that one. So we're about out of fuel, and that's gone. Power! So this is a much slower rocket. This is the Terrier that I put on earlier. Now as you can see, we're going for a lot slower speeds as we're increasing in height. The good news is the closer that is to the highest point, the faster it is to actually increase the periapsis. I'm not going to the moon on this particular run, unfortunately, Teddy. This rocket's not powerful enough. You need about 7,000 metres a second to go to it. And believe me, that's nothing. I mean, that's the way the moon is. We're going to wait for 30 seconds and we're going to hit the booster for the last 500 metres a second. Let's go for prograde. Okay, so we're going for a full boost in. See the blue line going around the world. We're at 2,000 metres a second, so it should appear any moment. The periapsis. There it is. And we're past 70,000. There we go. We've got 1,300 meters a second left. That's absolutely tons in this game. Absolutely tons. Yeah. So, we have yet another spacecraft in space, but this time we have science instruments, which means we can take readings. So, let's take some pressure. Surprisingly, it's 0. Let's go for goo. We've done goo before. Never taken it back. 20 meters. 20 science. There's another 20 science. Good. And we've got a temperature. So we've got the temperature. So there is a lot of science available now on this particular pod. Let's get a crew report. Nothing exciting. Right, I think that's enough of a stream today. I've been able to get 2 rockets into a successful orbit fairly quickly. Obviously an hour and a half for total stream, which is nice. It's not a short one, but it's not a really long one either. I hope you have found some of this quite interesting, as this is a game that a number of you I know would not have had much, if not any experience ever seeing before. Look at that for a polar orbit. It's literally going to go over the pole. That is quite incredible. I don't think I've ever actually been directly over the pole before. I think I might want to be in the spacecraft for this one. Where is it? Going that way. Let's turn off SAS. Otherwise we might just eat the electric, wherever the electric is. There it is, top. Yeah, so let's have a quick look on the inside. So this is what the little man looking around can actually see. That's his window. That's, I think that's the South Pole itself coming up. There's his instruments. You can see the speed he's going, see the orbit style he's got. Food, not food, air. Anyway, laundry and toothbrushes, as you'd expect in every spacecraft. Lovely view though, isn't it? This is what astronauts actually would see. Right, there we go. I'm out. Here's the pole coming up. I wonder, let's have a look, where are we? Based on that, I think what I might try and do on another day is I might actually try and land somewhere near that point there, the South Pole. It'll be fun. Right, anyway, I hope you've had fun watching. It's been different. Have a good evening, and I suppose Happy New Year. That'll be another one. And I will talk to you all in a year's time. I probably tomorrow or the day after or something. So yeah, you can watch this back again if you like, if you enjoyed it. Give you something to do, especially if you've got no one else to watch. The stream should take you 20 minutes into New Year if you watch it from the beginning. So yeah, have a good evening, and I will see you, as many of you as I can, hopefully soon. Thanks for joining, and goodbye.